Hello, Castlers. LDF07 here again to highlight a game that just completed in the Team Match Championship League. Let's get right to it. I'm going to highlight Terrencethefirst and Butuhan 0920 from Russia. On Team 3-Check Fun, Terrencethefirst starts out, let's see here, starts off with the Queen's Pawn opening, d4. Butuhan then plays 1c5, the old Benoni defense, looking to distract white from the center by offering a wing pawn for white's central d-pawn. Terrence then continues with c4. Butuhan then takes the pawn on d4. Bam. Terrence doesn't take right away. Instead, he develops his knight to f3. Butuhan continues with 3g6. Terrence then takes the pawn on d4 with his queen and simultaneously attacks the rook right here on h8. So, moving right along, Butuhan then blocks this attack with knight f6. Then Terrence plays bishop f4. And Butuhan follows that up with bishop g5. Which is an excellent move because it develops his bishop and gives it scope on the long diagonal. So you could possibly, especially if he uses queen there, you could have a discovered attack on the queen. But you gotta make sure that you have this bishop protected. Just some ideas here. Moving right along, Terrence then with another pawn move, e3. And Butuhan, hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Butuhan then develops his knight to c6. Good move because it attacks Terrence's queen, winning a tempo when it retreats. For beginners out there, tempo simply means a turn. So Terrence will lose tempo trying to find a safe square for this queen, while Butuhan will, in layman's terms, have an extra move to try and develop, developing more of his pieces back here. You want to develop your minor pieces, develop this bishop, castle, connect the rooks, and so on. Terrence continues with queen to d2, and then Butuhan castles. And Terrence is fortunate that he did not play the move knight e4. Okay, let me take the castle away. Very fortunate he didn't play knight e4. Because then you can continue on with main line. That's let's see here, knight e4, queen c2, queen b6, knight c3. These are the best moves that the computer says to make. Knight c3, queen takes b2. Bam, queen takes b2. Bishop takes c3 with the check on the king, and then queen takes c3, and knight takes c3. And here, the eval bar gives you one. It's fluctuating there, but he's in position to do some really major damage. You got the knights all in his territory here. It's just a better move, slightly better move, but it's a moot point because Butuhan never played knight e4. Instead, he castled on his 7th move. So we'll go back to that. 7th castle. All right. So continue. Bishop to d3, played by Terrence, and then d6, played by Butuhan. h3 from Terrence on his next move, and this is a blunder. The eval bar hated this move. As you see, it's all black now, 4.0 for Butuhan. They hated the move because it overlooks an opportunity to develop his queenside knight here to c3. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, instead of that move, you should have did queen to c3. This knight, put it on c3. All right. But instead, he did h3. And so, and you can see the eval bar going down. Um, yeah, what happens is, yeah, that's the move I'm trying to find. This is dangerous. Butuhan could really punish you with pawn to e5. Threatening the bishop, gotta move the bishop. Let's say bishop to f5. Bishop to g5, excuse me on that one. Bishop to g5, gotta move the bishop out. And then you got this fork. Bam. All right. So you move your bishop to e2. Pawn takes knight. Bishop takes pawn. And he goes down in exchange. He goes down on the exchange on this. And what does the eval bar say? 4.5, 4.6. It was fluctuating. You know, it's losing. However, this is a moot point because he only played h6. So he missed that move. He missed the e5 move. That really could have done some damage. And all I can say is hooray, because Terrencethefirst is on our side. So he played h6. Terrence then castles. And still, black does not play that e5 move. He moves the king to h7. Terrence then develops his queenside knight. So they're goodbye e5, because now if he tries to push e4, you have the knight here to help with the attack. So his next move, now he plays e5, too little too late. You know, you got to strike when the, you know, iron's hot, or whatever the saying is. I don't know. But anyway, he pushes the pawn to e5. So he pushes the pawn to e5, and then bishop to h2. And then you have rook e8 by black. e4 from white. a6 black. a3 white. b6 black. Just, you know, some moves here. And then you have rook ad1 from Terrence. Developing the rook off its starting square and possibly looking to put pressure on the, what's this, the d6 square. Possible. You know, here's an idea here. You got attacking his pawn, only one defending it. So good job by Terrence. Black counters by developing his bishop to e7. Knight d5 is played by Terrence, finding a nice outpost. Nice outpost here for the knight. As you can see, there are no pawns adjacent to kick the knight away. So he can plant this knight there until the cows come home. That's a great position for his knight. Rook c8 from black. Knight takes f6 with the check. Black equalizes material with queen takes f6. Then you have b4 from white. Knight to a7 from black. Bishop e2 from Terrence. And then Butuhan, with that move, takes a free pawn. With bishop takes e4. h4 is played by h4 played is a mistake and a missed opportunity to pin material. He should have played queen to e3. Let me back it up here. Queen e3, because then you get the line bishop a8, queen takes b6, knight to c6. You have b5, and then a takes b5, c takes b5, and then you can see right here as the eval eval bar tells you the position's even. All right. The position right here is equal. However, he played h4. So Terrence is still down a pawn. Black takes the knight on f3 with his bishop. And white takes back with his bishop. Equal trade, but Terrence still trails by a pawn. Black then plays rook e d8. Bishop b7 is played by Terrence. And this gives away a free pawn when Butuhan plays rook takes c4 on the next move. So now Terrence is trailing by 2 pawns. Terrence is probably sweating right now. He does not want to let his team down and knows they desperately need this point. So h5 is in played by white. And then Terrence the first gets a gift from the chess gods. Just an absolute gift. Butuhan blunders, plays g takes h5. Ooh, the white e-bar go way up. Did you spot it? Did you spot the move? It went way up because this leaves him vulnerable for a fork. And that's just what Terrence does as he brings out his shiny tenedor out with the move queen d3 check, attack on the king, and simultaneously that rook is gone, baby. But yeah, there's no more moves because Butuhan saw the writing on the wall and peremptorily resigned. A win for Terrence the First and a point for Let's Castle. Let's Castle now leads 15-13. Let me go back to the scoreboard here. Show. I'm gonna show the scoreboard. Yeah, as you can now see, Let's Castle 15, 3 check fun 13. Good. With 14 games remaining against 3 check fun. And that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to just shoot you this short podcast. So that will do it for the Let's Castle channel. I'm Eldef07 saying goodbye until next time.